Okay, one last question before the exit ticket. Almost done here today, guys. You're doing great so far. And that's going to be exercise 2, which is on the bottom half of the page. But Kurtz is building a rectangular pen for his dog. The dimensions are 12 units long and 5 units wide. Okay, so again, we don't know what the units are. If we're talking about a dog pen, and it's probably not going to be inches. But 12 yards, 12 meters. But that's what we got. It also says that Chris is building a second pen that is 60% the length of the original and 125% of the width. Oh, so this time we have two scale factors, right? Going horizontally for the length, this 12 unit length, it says it's going to be 60% of the length, which I know if it's 60%, that's less than 100%, it's going to shrink, right? But then it also says 125% of the width. So that means it's going to be getting bigger. So is this a reduction or an enlargement? If it's 60% one direction, 125% the other direction, it means it's growing and shrinking. And remember, when we're talking about scale drawings and proportional shapes, what I'm trying to figure out is, will the shape still look the same, right? Because if I'm talking about a reduction, it's going to be the same size shape, or same shape but a different size, or it's either going to be reduction or an enlargement. It's going to be getting bigger here. But this one's talking about being a little bit shorter and a little bit longer. Is that going to look like the same shape? Well, no, of course not. So the first thing to realize about this, if this can be 60% of the length and 125% of the width, these two pens are not proportional. Okay, they're not going to look like the same shape. Okay, but that's not really the question. They want to know. Says write the equations to determine the length and the width. All right, so for the length, I just decided here we're going to be using the 12. All right, so you could refer to the length as 5. I think it makes more sense to use the width, or sorry, the length of 12. So the new length is going to be equal to, it says 60% of the original, right? So the new is going to be 0.6. That way your calculator understands what to do here, right? 0.60 times 12, which you can figure out on your own. You got your calculator right there. You also know that the new width is going to be 125%. This time it's going to grow times the original width, which is 5. All right, you've already done this several times today. That's why I'm going through this so fast. This is not new information for you. 1.25 times the 5, okay? So all you've got to do for this one, what's the new length, what's the new width? You've got your calculators there to get that done.